Welcome to the Midlife Style School, the podcast for women who want to elevate their personal style and life by design. I'm your hostess, Afton Porter, certified life coach and fashion stylist, known as the Chief Image Creator, helping high-profile women polish their image with standout style in their industry. Through our conversations and insight, I'll provide simple tricks and practices that will help take the stress out of getting dressed in the morning so you can start each day feeling empowered, confident, and ready to take on whatever comes your way. Let's go. Bonjour. I am coming to you from the city of love, Paris, and my daughter and I are wrapping up coming up to our 12-day European trip where we spent some time in London and then 5 days in Paris. And it's been a really great trip. I did want to share with you some of my thoughts about Paris while we were here because there were some things that surprised us. I had been to London before and nothing was surprising as far as the weather and the culture and all that goes. But in Paris, I was pleasantly surprised by quite a few things. So I wanted to go over that today and also give some travel recommendations if you have Paris on your wish list. So Paris to me was much more humid than I had expected. When immediately from walking off the plane, I noticed the humidity. Now, keep in mind, I live in Arizona. They say it's a dry heat. There, we do get humidity when we have a monsoon or a rain come in. When that happens, there's much more humidity. But as I think of the different places like Arizona and London, and I grew up in Seattle and visit California a lot, all these locations, how much the weather affects our style. And as soon as I landed and started walking around Paris, I was like, oh, now I understand. I get it. Why they always show videos of people wearing skirts and dresses in Paris because the weather is very warmer than I had expected. We were cold actually in London. We had sweaters and pants and all that, but then we would get hot in the sun and cold in the shade, and it was crazy. But as soon as we came to Paris, the air just had that warm sense. It didn't have the chill in the air was gone. And luckily we did have dresses left from London that we didn't wear because it has been warmer. It has been warm, and I know that Paris can have unpredictable weather. So when we had packed to come to Europe, it was raining in Paris. And I remember when we were in London, I was like, oh, it's raining in Paris, but London's weather was gorgeous. It was so beautiful. And we've had the same experience here in Paris. But it has been warmer than I had anticipated. So if you're thinking that, you have all these European countries and, a 2-hour train ride from London to Paris makes all the difference with the humidity. Now, if you're from someplace from the South that has lots of humidity, you might think that this has less humidity. But it reminds me of Miami-ish, like the weather in Miami. Like it's warm and it's similar, like where people are wearing dresses and tank tops and more brighter colors than I had expected coming here. I feel like this is my European Miami. It's gorgeous, beautiful weather. We have our umbrella if it were to start raining, but we have not needed it at all. Anyway, so that was a lot of explanation about humidity. Number two is walking. They do have bus transportation and they do have a metro, which is a subway system, but it's not the same as London. You can get around all over town with the metro. They have a very massive metro system. Paris, not the same. They have great taxis, even like we tried to order an Uber and the Uber was going to they wanted to move us to a different spot, which we did not know where that was. And so we just ended up calling a taxi because the streets are so different where you the evenings were for pedestrians and people can drive on it. And so sometimes Uber doesn't want to mess with it ever. Like they just move people around. Uber can be a little tricky, even though the pricing is better with Uber than a taxi, but sometimes it's just easier to grab a taxi and plan on bringing some very comfortable shoes, some fashionable tennis shoes, or ballet flats. Maybe bring some band-aids. We've been wearing tennis shoes for most of all of our walking that we're doing. Thankful to have a great pair. It seems as though many of the women here are wearing dresses with white fashionable tennis shoes, like not your workout shoes, kind of what we talked about in a podcast before about Paris, but white fashionable tennis shoes with skirts, pretty much anything. Dresses, lots of dresses, which allows for a lot of air to flow. And it just so happens like I've been having so many hot flashes this summer. And in Paris, when we've been in hot palaces, it's just really nice to have a dress on versus pants or jeans. At least I'm so thankful I'm wearing a dress because then when I start getting hot, I could just kind of flutter the dress and it allows some air to circulate and I just feel a lot better. So if you're having hot flashes, no matter where you're at, when you're wearing it, wear a long dress and you can just kind of shake your skirt and it'll allow some airflow. It helped me feel a lot better, especially when you're crammed with all the tourists. There was a lot of tourists in Paris. There has been a lot of tourists here in Paris, but London was much worse. So we're thankful for the warmer weather, thankful for less tourists. So comfy shoes, prepare for humidity. And let me go back to one really quick. When you're styling your outfits or packing, think lightweight layers. Parisian weather can be unpredictable. It could be hot and then it could start raining. That we haven't had that experience on this trip, but pack light layers like cottons or linens. I like the skirts and the blouses and the dresses. And I also have a black cardigan that I've thrown on in the evenings. The evenings are a little cooler. We can go outside our hotel and there's restaurants all over our hotel. And so, in fact, last night and tonight we went and got a crepe. Oh my gosh, they were so good. And I did grab an outer cardigan to wear out there. I would recommend that you bring some type of a stylish outerwear. So either a lightweight trench coat or a stylish jacket is perfect for those cooler evenings or unexpected rain showers. So I would just grab one that you could wear with the majority of your dresses. So I brought a lot of black and white for Paris. Like the dresses that I have left are literally black and white. My black cardigan is super easy to throw on with one of my dresses. Grab something that you can wear with your outfits for an outer layer. So lightweight layers, stylish outer layer, and then comfortable shoes, right? So number 3, comfortable shoes. with all the walking that you're going to be doing. Number 4, some great bottoms. Pick a mix of skirts and pants that can be dressed down or up depending on what you're going to be doing in Paris. So many women are wearing dresses and skirts, so I totally fit in with all of mine. But just make sure you just have something comfortable and versatile that you can dress up or down. And that looks really great with a pair of fashionable sneakers. Now, accessories is something to think about. I very much was very minimal with my accessories, but I did bring some earrings and necklaces on this trip. I didn't bring any bracelets or rings. I left all of those at home. But earrings and necklaces and scarves are a great way to add a little polish to your outfits while you're in Paris. Don't forget to bring a compact umbrella. So that is number 6. When you come to Paris, you're going to need to bring an adapter. We didn't bring enough. We brought one adapter, and I grabbed an extension cord that I was thinking I could just plug my extension cord into my adapter, and then we can plug in all the things. Well, it turns out my extension cord plug is a 3-prong plug, and the adapter I have is only a 2-prong. So luckily, my computer fits into the 2-prong, and it has some USB things that we can charge up our battery packs, which is another electronic devices you're going to need to bring, or electronic things. You're going to need battery packs. Every day you'll want to power those up because you will not want to go without your phone, whether you're using the city mapper for directions or taking pictures and videos, making phone calls, whatever you need to do with your phone. You'll want to make sure you can order an Uber. So bring battery packs. But we would charge those up, charge up our phones, charge up our AirPods, and all the cords for that. It would have been so much easier if we were able to get that extension cord working. So just make sure that if you do that, make sure that you can actually plug it in. Everything turned out just fine, but it is a little slower to charge all that. Anyway, bring your adapters, bring your chargers, bring your battery packs, and you'll be good to go. England has a different plug than Paris, so you'll need one for each if you're going to be traveling to multiple countries. And yeah, my daughter was glad to start curling her hair. For some reason, it works better in Paris than it did in London. Of course, make sure you bring all of your vitamins and any type of medications you might need to bring. But anything else specific to Paris? I think that is about it. Just make sure that you are staying in a hotel that has AC. These are older buildings and hotels. What I've kind of heard about Paris and being here is that the rooms always seem smaller. They're not the same as US. These are old buildings, and that you just want to make sure you have AC. They're going to be smaller rooms, and that's just fine. The food has been delicious. It just tastes fresh. Okay. I think with those tips, they will help you on your trip to Paris when you come. Until next week, think like a style icon. Bye-bye.